we looked at K. Okay, give me your parabola, everyone. Now, give me an incorrectly drawn parabola. Give me one that is not a function. Okay, I see it gone sideways. Now, give me a right way up parabola that is not drawn correctly. Right? I'm seeing this. Right? I'm seeing students being like, "Oh, like this." Or is anyone doing the parallel? Yeah, I see someone being like parallel lines. That's not a parabola, right? So so remember, now what do you put at the end of your two lines? Arrows, right? Beautiful. Okay. So that's to start with. Now, the first day one, we talked about K. So give me your regular parabola, parent function parabola. Show me what the K does. Let's just see it. Up and down, up and down. Okay, back to origin. K, so y equals x squared plus 5. Let's see it. X squared plus 5. So the 5 is not inside the graph, right? Okay, go back to y equals x squared. Y equals x squared minus 7. Beautiful. Good. What do we call the K? A vertical. Yeah, not transportation, translation. Good. Let's write that down. Okay. So we call it the vertical translation. You could also call it the vertical shift. You could. Now, if k is greater than 0, and I know sometimes these greater than less than signs can be confusing. So let's even put a positive sign next, like k is bigger than 0, right? It's positive. K is less than 0, it's negative. So when k is bigger than 0, there's a vertical shift or vertical translation, k units up. And when it's less than 0, it's down. And so since it's moving up and down, there's only one coordinate of the vertex that changes. Yeah, the x does not change. And then the y vertex is whatever your k is. What's the other thing that's determined by the k? Not the y-intercept. It's not the axis of symmetry. Pardon? No. Yeah. The max min. The max or min is going to be y equals whatever your k is. It might be the min, might be the max, right? But that's the vertical piece. Exactly. The max and min happens at the vertex. But if I say what is the max min value, you need to know to use the y-intercept. Yeah. Okay. So now let's do the other translation. Okay. So give me your y equals x squared. What does the h do? Beautiful, right? We've got the horizontal translation. Now, do you remember it looks, so you can put your parabolas down. This one is tricky because remember that the equation has a minus inside the bracket. So that minus is not part of the h. So if your h is greater than 0, if it's positive, the parabola might look like this. Let's write an example. It would be y equals x minus 7 squared, right? So the h is inside the bracket. And I kind of think of it, well, it's moving the x. And then the x is not part of the h. So in this case, what is your h value? Is it negative 7 or positive 7, everyone? It's just positive 7. And so that means which direction? Can everyone show me? Give me your y equals x squared. Now give me y equals x minus 7 all squared. Beautiful, right? So we're all going 7 in the positive direction. Great. So that would mean 7 to the right, right? So, oh, look, do you see the typo? That's silly. What should we write here? Yeah. Right, we're doing a horizontal shift or translation. Okay. So when it looks like it's a negative, it's actually going to the right. Now, if I make the h a -2, I want you, right? So now we're talking about having a negative h. I want you to write the equation, right? So you're going to write y equals, it's going to go inside the bracket. And what do I write, everyone? +2. Everyone, what do I write in there? Good. Which direction is the parabola moving, everyone? Good. Kind of the opposite of what it looks like. We call this the horizontal translation. One of the things I ask my students in grade 11 to do, one second, thank you, is to build a list of terminology. So in grade 11, I get really picky on the words, on the math words my students use. And so for communication questions, I'll have them explain something. And if they're not using the right terminology, even if they're saying the right stuff, I will not give full marks. So that might be something you want to start doing, is writing down all these math terms and having a bit of a math, like a dictionary, or like a, what's glossary? Is glossary a list of words? Something like that. Yeah. Yes, Corley.
Is it possible for parent function to not be at the origin, or we always have to have a origin?
Good question. I'm going to repeat it. Is it possible for the parent function to not be at the origin? Right? So, and are you saying for any function or specifically for a parabola?
A parabola.
Okay. So the question is this. Can we have a parent function here? Tell me why we can't, Corley. And it's something about this. Okay, so discuss with the person next to you. Why is it not possible? Why does the parent function always have to be at the origin? Discuss.
Because it doesn't have any values yet, that's like one more just base.
How's this for a quick definition for a parent function? A parent function is the basic function, or is the basic shape, without any transformations. Does that answer your question? So if it's like we can't have a horizontal translation or a vertical. So that's why the vertex has to be at the origin, because there haven't been any transformations yet. I like that question. Thank you. I'll give you 3/4 points, 3/4 of a point. All right. Where is the vertex when we have a horizontal translation? Well, we move H to the right or left. And if it's just the H, then the Y is 0. What else does the H tell us? Like the K told us the max or min value, where the H tells us, that's right. Right, the axis of symmetry equation is X equals H. This summary chart here is something that I would encourage you to review twice a day. Maybe at lunch, or maybe when you do homework and then once before you go to bed. Because there's a lot of information here. Now, before we go to the A, what happens to the vertex when we have both, I need another color, sorry. What happens when we have an H and K value? So what happens to the vertex? Well, the H gives us the X coordinate and the K gives us the Y coordinate, right? So given a equation with all the transformations, you can find these coordinates. So let's just take an example of what I just said. If my equation if this is my equation, and I know that the vertex is H comma K, okay, talk with your partner or turn around or whatever. What is the vertex of this parabola? And once you're done, do it with your hand. Yeah. All right, folks, I want to see your hands. Let's get that parabola. Are you doing the A? Making it pretty and squashy, squashy, right? So it went 3 to the right, 7 up, and it opened up. Great. All right, let's talk about the A. So if A is positive, if A is negative. Okay, so for the A, we call this a vertical stretch or compression. And in grade 10, we do not look at a horizontal stretch and compression, but in grade 11, we do. It just doesn't make sense for a parabola, but next year you're going to learn about other functions that do experience both types of stretches. Yeah.
I have another question.
Silly one?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Why is it compression if it's getting like wider?
Yeah, because it's a vertical one. Okay, so so if you imagine, right, someone's holding my hands and they're pulling me up, I'm getting stretched. I'm getting pushed down. That's being compressed.
But aren't the lines endless anyway? Like, wouldn't they both reach the same?
They do. It just takes maybe longer.
Okay.
Now, to answer your question, like, there can be a horizontal stretch and compression. So if I'm a parabola, please, I know I got a hole here. Okay, if I'm a parabola and I'm getting a horizontal compression, okay, everyone make your parabola and take a guess. What is a horizontal compression? If a vertical compression is being pushed down, a horizontal compression means I'm being squeezed. Shh. So a horizontal compression is the same as a vertical. And a horizontal stretch, what would that look like? it's the same as a vertical compression. So because they're the same, we only teach the vertical one in grade 10. But when you're going to have the radical function like this next year, which is just like that, you can have a vertical stretch and a horizontal compression or a horizontal reflection at the same time. So next year we add another layer. Okay, so if A is positive, okay, there's a vertical stretch. Yeah, we're going to say stretch by a factor of A. You know what? I want to make this number 1. Right? Because we're just talking about the stretch. And for the negative, it's going to be less than -1.
Why did you make it 1 and negative?
Because we're talking about a stretch. We get a vertical compression when A is between -1 or 1. Right? So if A is a fraction or a decimal, sorry, this is, I think I was messy here. -1. Right? So if it's fraction or decimal, it means we have a vertical compression. The other two are both stretches. It's just that, okay, let's finish this. When A is positive, it's stretched. Parabola will open up. And do we have a max or min when it opens up? We have a minimum. Now, what do we call it? What's the math term when it flips upside down? Good. It's a reflection in the x-axis, right? Because it like flips over the x-axis. And there's a vertical stretch by a factor of A. I'll teach you what that means. The parabola will open down. And when it opens down, we have a max or min? Good. I'm going to cross this out. This doesn't matter. Okay. So let's put this all to use. Let's combine all of them and do some sketches. Now, on the quiz, I will be asking you to make a few sketches, and then FYI, tomorrow, I'm going to teach you 2 ways to actually graph. Notice I use the word graph because you're going to have more than 1 point. Okay, to graph a parabola, you need 3 or more points. So I'm going to teach you 2 methods tomorrow to do to actually graph it. So on the quiz, you will graph, but you will also sketch. So let's sketch today. Okay, so let's combine these guys. Let's read the question so we get practice reading questions. Okay, so go ahead and read the question, underline, highlight, right, so that you're not forgetting things. Okay, there's a lot we have to do here. All right, to start off, let's list off the AHK of the first equation. So please talk to the person next to you. What is the AHK of this first equation? Take a risk, make a mistake. This is what my group said, right? Okay. Before we draw it, let's fill in these answers. So is it going to open up or down? Okay, let's write that down. Okay, what is the vertex? Well, it's going to be your H, comma, your K, right? So my vertex is 2, -3. Where's my axis of symmetry? Is it x equals 2 or x equals -3? Everyone, what is it? Great. Everyone, is there a max or min if it opens down? Great. So we're going to write it like this. Y max, right? Because the max min is always the y value. And then I write max or min as a subscript. And how high will it go? Where will the peak be? What's the number? -3. Great. And now we're not doing domain range. Okay, can we sketch this? Yeah. Where do we put the first point? How about the vertex? Okay, so the vertex, it's 2 across, 3 down. There's my vertex. Is there a stretch or compression? No, it's just sort of a regular looking parabola. And we said it opens down. So I'll just draw a parabola like that. You got it, because the A, like the number part, is 1. Now, how do we label this? We can label the vertex, 2, -3. And I want you guys to label the equation of the graph. So we're going to write y equals -x minus 2 all squared plus -3. Right? When you are graphing, when you graph, you definitely want to write the name of the equation. All right, does the next one look really complicated? It looks uglier. So let's try it together. Okay, start with the AHK. Just write it down. Then fill out the information at the bottom. Any questions, please ask. It opens up. The coordinates are ugly. Now, they're fractions. I don't mind you writing them as a decimal, right? So instead of 1/2, I'll write 0.5. And instead of 3/4, I'll write 0.75. That sometimes helps me know where to plot the points. Axis of symmetry. If it opens up, do we have a max or min? Great. And it's going to be at 0.75. Now, there is an A value. So if A is 2, is it a stretch or compression? Great. So my parabola, is it going to look narrower, like skinnier, or wider? Okay. So first thing we draw, vertex. So going -1/2, a +3/4. What a horrible vertex to draw. And if it opens up, I'm going to label it underneath. -0.5, 0.75. And then I don't know how to do the points yet, so I'm just going to be like, see, Miss Sly? It's a narrow parabola. Whoa. And then I'll write the equation next to it. Y equals 2x plus a half squared plus 3/4. Okay, so we label it. So you're going to check, does my sketch have a name? Does it have an equation? Does it have arrows? Did I label the vertex? Did I show that it's a narrow parabola? Okay. Is this, so thumbs up, this is making sense. Thumbs in the middle, I'm getting there. Thumbs down, not yet. Okay, everyone assess yourself and think, should I be coming to extra help with a few questions? Okay, because I will be giving extra help today. All right, let's do the next two. Okay, so again, domain range we cut out. Try to answer these without sketching. And if you need to, no one's going to stop you from doing the hand thing. Right? I find that very helpful. I also find it helpful to write down what my AHKs are. Yeah. Ooh, folks, what's the H in this case? Yeah, so I can just rearrange it, right? And so the H is -3. They just tried to trick me. All right, so when you're done, look at my answers. Let's see if we all agree. Please don't copy. Whatever you do, please don't copy. I really want you to use your brain. Folks, this next equation looks a bit silly or funny or weird. Which one is missing? The K. So what is the value of K? Yeah, good. It's just a 0. They tried to trick us. Okay, once again, do it on your own and check if we all agree. Mm. Yes. Well, yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, you have 8 minutes. I would like you all to start doing your homework. Yes.